Giorgia Meloni is escalating tensions with Ursula von der Leyen, and the situation could become contentious. The Italian Prime Minister is outraged by the European Commission's annual Rule of Law report, which raised alarms about press freedom in Italy and the independence of the public broadcaster RAI. In response, Meloni has initiated legal actions against journalists for defamation, a criminal offense in Italy that can lead to imprisonment. Additionally, her appointment of loyalists to key positions at the state broadcaster has resulted in the exit of several prominent journalists. Following the report's release, Meloni sent a letter to von der Leyen, the president of the European Commission, accusing the report's criticisms of inciting clumsy and specious attacks from journalists. This marks the latest chapter in a deteriorating relationship between the two leaders. In the 2 weeks since the European Parliament confirmed von der Leyen for a second term, the Meloni government has continued to clash with the European Commission, raising concerns about a relationship that was once viewed as a pragmatic partnership. Senior EU officials and diplomats have questioned the wisdom of Meloni's public dismissal of von der Leyen. "What Meloni did was just plain stupid," remarked one senior EU diplomat after the parliamentary vote. "She has squandered significant political capital in just a few weeks." In the lead-up to the vote on her second term among EU leaders in June, von der Leyen made considerable efforts to strengthen ties with Meloni. The two collaborated on issues such as migration, and the EU offered condolences to communities in Italy affected by floods. Von der Leyen even participated when Meloni outlined her expanded political strategy for Africa in Rome. However, Meloni abstained during the EU leaders' vote on von der Leyen's second term, frustrated by being excluded from a backroom deal orchestrated by von der Leyen's centrist conservatives, Emmanuel Macron's liberals, and Olaf Scholz's socialists. At that time, it was expected that her Brothers of Italy party would still support von der Leyen in the European Parliament vote, but they did not. Lorenzo Castellani, a political lecturer at Luis University in Rome, noted that Meloni had built credibility in diplomatic and financial circles as well as with the Commission, and had benefited from numerous concessions, including on the EU's Coronavirus Recovery Fund and migration. Now, he argues, she has thrown it away. Is Italy becoming marginalized? The vote on von der Leyen placed Meloni at a pivotal moment, forcing her to choose between solidifying her position as a mainstream moderate in European affairs or embracing her instinct to remain a combative outsider. Since taking office in 2022, Meloni has led a right-wing government that has mandated the automatic detention of migrants and restricted the parental and reproductive rights of same-sex couples. Her party has opposed the Green Deal and resisted including the right to abortion in the EU's Charter of Fundamental Rights. Critics of Meloni have framed her tensions with von der Leyen as indicative of Italy's diminishing influence in Europe. Italian lawmaker Riccardo Maggi, a centrist and vocal opponent of Meloni, accused her of playing the victim, a tactic often employed by those seeking to portray themselves as underdogs. Nevertheless, both von der Leyen and Meloni have a mutual need for one another. The Commission was perplexed by Rome's reaction to the Rule of Law report, especially since it was prepared in consultation with the Italian government. During an official visit to China this week, Meloni attempted to ease the tensions, asserting that her letter was not evidence of tensions, but a reflection on the manipulation of a technical document in which the critical accents are not from the Commission, but from stakeholders, whom she identified as Italy's left-wing press. In the short term, these tensions could influence the type of portfolio assigned to the next Italian member of the Commission. The leading candidate for that position is European Affairs Minister Raffaele Fitto, who is well regarded in Brussels. If Meloni proposes a more right-wing candidate, von der Leyen could respond by assigning Meloni a symbolic Mediterranean portfolio, according to diplomats. While Italy has advocated for a Mediterranean portfolio, its pressing economic concerns as a heavily indebted nation make it more interested in securing a significant economic commissioner. The political weight and responsibilities of the new Mediterranean portfolio remain uncertain. However, the stakes extend beyond mere positions and influence. Italy holds the second highest public debt in Europe and has a deficit that exceeds EU limits, setting the stage for potential conflicts with the European Commission as new fiscal rules impose penalties on countries with large deficits. Challenges ahead could intensify pressure on Italy. If a financial crisis arises that raises Italy's debt costs, not being part of the majority could have serious consequences, especially if debt rules and recovery plan deadlines are enforced strictly, Castellani warned.